Hi guys, Blue Wax Games here, and today we are going to be taking a look into the Nether update that was recently released into Minecraft, and by recently I mean like 2 months ago or something. But I'm actually going to show off every single item that was put into the game when the Nether update happened. Every single little change as well. So that's what I'm going to be mentioning in this video, but first we have to get up with the starters, the new biomes, the mobs, the generations and stuff. And since my nether is extremely boring, I started off in the normal biome and had no structures next to me. So I'm just going to read them off and put a picture of them, because I can find them in my actual world. So the first biome is the Soul Sand Valley. Bunch of soul sand and blue fire. The next biome is the Crimson Forest. And the next biome, much like the other one, is the Warped Forest. And the last biome, there's 4 biomes, is the Basalt Deltas. So, just like the biomes, there are 4 new mobs. There are the Piglins, there are the Striders, there are the Zoglins, and there are the Hoglins. The Hoglins spawn in Crimson Forests, and there are also new generated structures. There are Bastion Remnants, which are basically nether fortresses, but they have more loot, and they're black instead of red. They also generate in all nether biomes except Basalt Deltas. And it's the only way to obtain the new music disc, Big Step. Other generations are basalt pillars, there's huge funguses, and ruined portals, which can be found in both the overworld and the nether. Which is what I'm going to talk about in a second, because you see this weird thing here that was actually just because I'm dumb. Because I saw this, this block is actually called Crying Obsidian. And as soon as I saw there's a new obsidian, I'm like, ooh, new portal. And then I made this, and as you expected, nothing happens. Because I'm dumb, and crime obsidian is actually just a material to make something else I'm going to explain later in the video. And also it does some other cool stuff, but that's going to be explained also later in the video. So this does nothing, and shall stay that way. Another thing I wanted to mention is that I'm pretty sure this never came with another update, and that you could just always do this, but I find it cool to make really huge nether portals. This has probably nothing to do with the nether update, but it has to do with the nether portal, so just wanted to mention that as well. Now let's go to the nether and check out some cool things. Eat. Alright, so we're in the nether. As you can see, like I said, this is extremely bland nether. Nothing new to be seen for hundreds of miles. No new biomes or anything, except for this gold here, which we'll talk about in just a second. But before that, we will talk about all the new blocks that were added to this update. They are pretty cool. You can already see some of the contraptions I've built to showcase them. So, let's open this chest. And the first thing we have is Soul Fire. Soul Fire, let's just get these 2 things right here in my chest already. So, basically this is Soul Soil. It's an alternative to Soul Sand, but it doesn't make you slower. And if you just place some flint and steel on it, it turns blue. This actually deals twice the amount of damage that fire does, 2 damage per second instead of 1. And it can naturally generate on Soul Soil in the Soul Sand Valley. And can also be made manually like this. So I'm just gonna keep that there because it looks cool. Blue fire. I'm just gonna put this back, and we're gonna talk about all of these blue lights that are pretty cool looking. There's also, I could have put the regular torch in, but I didn't feel like it. So we're gonna go to this room. Since the nether's pretty bright already, we're gonna use this epic room to test the brightness. So this is the soul torch. It is said that this torch has a brightness level of 10, and regular torches have a brightness level of 14. So it's actually way darker. And it's almost the same with the lanterns and campfires, whereas the soul lantern also has a luminescence level of 10, and same with the campfire, except the normal ones have a level of 15. So instead of 14 like the torch, these have 15, which makes sense because lanterns are probably going to be brighter than torches, and same with campfires. Anyway, I've tried placing down the regular versions of these, but I don't think there's too much difference that can be seen when you place the two of them down. I should have probably went to the overworld and built this in the overworld, because it probably would have been easier to represent the brightness. Doesn't matter. I'll put these back in the chest. So, next thing we have is the crimson and warped fungi. You're gonna see this pattern a lot, that crimson and then warped. So this is basically just fungi. It can't be placed on this, it needs to be placed on the crimson and warped grass blocks, which are pretty cool, and I'll explain to them what they actually do in a second. I think I'll hold on to these in the chest and show you what they can actually do if you add bone meal to them on the grass blocks later, because for right now they don't do anything in my hand. They really just don't do anything. But after that, we have the crimson and warped stems, which are basically just the logs of the trees. They look pretty cool. They're just the logs for the trees, like I said. Their trees are pretty weird. They kind of look like mushroom trees or something. But I actually don't have a biome anywhere nearby. Like I said, this is like extremely boring nether, so I can't really go to show you what it looks like. I might put a picture, but I don't think I will. Anyway, the next thing we have is soil, but we actually already showed you what it does, and it doesn't really do anything. So the next thing we have is basalt. We have basalt and, of course, polished basalt. It doesn't really do anything, but a cool thing to know is if there's still soil and lava and then ice on top or something, like packed ice on top or something, then you can make basalt roads, and people have been doing some crazy stuff like making slime block machines to make infinite bridges across the nether, but I don't know how to do any of that stuff, so you're not gonna see me do any of that stuff in this video. So the next thing we have is the warped block, actually. The warped wart block. There's no crimson version of this, it's just it's like the nether wart block, but it's warped. It's a variation of the nether wart block, actually. It can be found in the warped forest, and actually there's no crimson version because the regular wart blocks are found in the crimson forest. Regular nether wart blocks. Alright, let's put this back in the chest and see what we have next. The next thing we have are this Nelium. Crimson and warped Nelium, which actually have a lot of purposes. You're going to see here. I'm grabbing all this stuff because actually this stuff is actually pretty cool. Now this is what I'm talking about. This was what I was talking about when I was talking about the grass. This is Runchas. When I was talking about the grass of the biomes. These funguses don't do anything on their own, but when they have bone meal, they go crazy. Another thing to note about this, I'm sorry, I think you can hear my controller. It's kind of annoying, but that's fine. Another thing to note about this is that if you bone meal netherrack next to the Nelium, it will turn into that respective color, or this Crimson stole it. See, and then you can grow grass on it and whatever. Oops. Oh yeah, another thing to note is that this grass, it doesn't need shears to be picked up. You can just break the block below it. But that's not really that important. So the thing I was actually trying to show you is that if you bone meal these mushrooms, like I said, this happens. Yeah, they make the weird mushroom trees, and they take up a lot of space, which is kind of annoying. And I don't think I'm gonna do it to the red version, because the red version is kind of the same thing. There are these mushroom lights in there. I'll actually talk about them in a second, but not right now. Here's the stem and all this crap here. The warped blocks, the warp blocks. I cannot speak right now. Great, so that's what happens if you put bone meal on these mushrooms. And I'm not gonna do it to this one because I don't want to clean it up. And I'm pretty sure these things will spread on their own, like regular grass. Because nether blocks are actually kind of just like dirt in this world. And this grass stuff is kind of like grass. So it just spread and cover the whole area until it becomes a biome. So, the next thing we have on our list, actually I have to get rid of all this stuff first. I put these mushrooms in the wrong place. Doesn't matter, I'll just put them right here. It's fine. The next thing we have on our list are these vines, which are just regular vines that can be climbed. If I just place them here, never mind, I have to place them on like trees and stuff, I forgot. You can climb them like regular vines in the swamp or something. Nothing really much to say about them. These are different vines that are actually pretty cool, but I'm not going to show you them right now. So, next thing we have is crying obsidian. Oh yeah, I was about to show you guys this. In the overworld, I made a portal out of this, and it was dumb because it doesn't do anything. This, like I said, is a block. It doesn't do anything. It's actually, it generates naturally as part of ruined portal structures, which are basically just like broken portals with this stuff in it. And it can be found as loot in the chests in the other fortress, the Black Fortress. It can be obtained by like trading with the piglins, and it has the same blast resistance as obsidian and cannot be pushed by pistons. And oh yeah, it's a material because it's used to make this thing, which I'll show you what it is in a second. It's called a respawn anchor. Put this back right here. Next thing we have on our list, next block is ancient debris, which is the new diamond ore. Except it's better than diamond ore. So this will be found in groups of like 3 if you're lucky, really deep underground like Y12, 11. And I tried going down to get them, and I could not find any, even in creative mode. People have said to use TNT, but I was not going to go out of my way try and find this when I am in creative mode, and I could just take it in the creative inventory. This is used to make nether scrap or whatever it's called, and nether scrap is used to make netherite ingots, and that is used to make all the powerful tools you get at endgame. So this is ancient debris, nothing really much to say about it, even though I actually just said a ton about it. Oh wait, something I forgot about ancient debris. So this can actually be found at any altitude, except it's much more common in the lower altitudes. I don't know why I had to take it out of the chest to say that. Next thing we have is block of netherite. Also, really obvious what this does. It can make beacons. It doesn't really add much to the beacons. I suggest just making a beacon out of emerald blocks. This will take probably years and years of real life work to make a beacon out of this. Even just like a 3-stack beacon, it will take lot of time. This block here is just proof that you're an OG pro. You're a pro at Minecraft if you have this in survival mode. I'm pretty sure no one has obtained this yet in survival mode, and if someone has, they're really really good at Minecraft. So, the next thing we have, actually it's not in this chest anymore. It's the Crimson and Warped Planks, which has its very own chest because it has lots and lots of stuff. I don't think I'm gonna take a lot of this stuff out, actually, because it's pretty self-explanatory. You got your old planks. Actually, they can be used to craft their respective slabs, stairs, fences, fence gates, pressure plates, button doors, and trapdoors, and also signs. And I just added these roots in here, which are basically just grass, and these sprouts, which is basically just more grass. Alright, so that's about it for this chest. We're going back to this chest, and we're gonna check on this thing, which looks pretty weird, but it is called a target. And, yep, it looks like what it's called. It looks like a target. And here are where my crazy inventions come into play. This is something else. I actually messed up on this, because I don't know actually how to use it. But this, on the other hand, is something I kind of want to show you. So basically, let me line up my cursor. So this is on the very outer edge, the very white outer edge, the least amount of points you can get. And I missed. Wow. Great job. So let me try and hit bang. See, you can see that redstone activated, but nothing was lit up. Bing. Barely any redstone activated. Now, let's hit the red line, the very outer red line. Or just completely miss. See, one redstone lamp activated. Now let's hit the next white line. 2 redstone lamps activated. Now let's hit this red line. 3 redstone lamps activated. 4 redstone lamps activated. And the last one, I think that was 6 actually. It went from 4 to 6. Because Bullseye is really good. And it can't get to the 7 mark unless I'm missing something. I built this because it said that if you hit it with an elytra, if you smack into the target with an elytra, it will also emit a redstone signal. But I did so many tries hitting it in the face with just an elytra and smacking it, flying into it with an elytra, and it didn't do anything. It didn't give any kind of redstone signal. So I was kind of confused, because if I use my bow on any one of these, it will emit a redstone signal. So when I flew into it with an elytra, and it said that it will emit a redstone signal, I was kind of expecting one. And no matter how hard I tried, nothing happened, so I kind of just gave up on this. Anyway, let's go to our next block. Let's put all this back. Bing, bing, bing. Next block is the respawn anchor, the one I was going to talk about. So I've already placed this down over here. It looks kind of cool, but nothing actually has happened yet. This does not do anything until you get some glowstone and right click it with it, or you left trigger with it. Bing. Now it has 1 piece of glowstone into it. I'll actually get some netherrack here and build some kind of stage thing to show you guys something. Let me get some redstone. And if I put some redstone out, I'm pretty sure this thing is supposed to emit redstone signal of only 1. So you see this one is actually turned on because I've only put 1 glowstone into it. So once I put more glowstone into it, here, 2, now this second one has filled up. And then I put 3, now this third one is lit up. And then I do 4. Now it's completely fully charged, and all of these redstone blocks are powered. I can't put any more because 4 is the max. And the top looks like the Nether portal, except you can go in. So, what this does, let me just get rid of this redstone here. What this does is actually that whenever you die, you respawn back in the Nether. So, I have this little lava pit here. Let me throw this in here. Oh, burn. Why won't you burn? Here you go. I'll put this back in here so I can show you guys how this works. So since I've powered it, I can go into game mode survival real quick. Game mode S. I'm in survival mode, I jump in the lava, I die, and then I respawn right next to this thing. So basically, whenever you die, you respawn back in the Nether. And actually what that did is lost a little chunk of its power. You see, it had 4 in it, and now it only has 3. And if I keep dying, it will keep losing chunks of its power. So basically, it's a respawn point for the Nether, since you can't respawn in the Nether with actual beds. You have to use this thing. And once all of the charges are done, you won't be able to respawn here anymore. And you'll just respawn at the world set point. So let's go back into creative mode. Game mode C. Great, now we're in creative mode. This is my skin, by the way. This thing only has 1 charge left, but it doesn't matter because I'm in creative mode. And let's see what the next item on our list is. Alright. So it's actually Nether gold ore, which is pretty cool. Let's get our pickaxes out. As you can see, there's a bunch of this stuff everywhere. There's one right here. There's a bunch right there. If I can see, yeah, there's a bunch right there and there. Yeah, there's a bunch everywhere, like there. It's like quartz, but I think there's a little less of it than quartz. So Nether gold ore actually drops 1 to 5 gold nuggets, and it can be mined with any pickaxe. It can be mined with wooden pickaxes, but I chose netherite and diamond in this case to show you something else actually on the way. And I definitely should not have changed into creative mode, because now I'm just going to change back in survival mode. I cannot type right now. Game mode S. Bing. Now it's survival mode, so I can mine this up. Let's see what it gives me. 5. I actually got the most I can possibly get. Now 10. Oh, I can drop 1 to 5, and I'm getting really lucky. 15. 25. Wait, did this change? Drops 1 to 5 gold nuggets and mined with any pickaxe. If I mine it with this, does it change? Wait. Oh. Is it dependent? Oh, so I just learned something. Well, I'm dead. Doesn't matter, because I have this respawn beacon. Oh, jeez, this respawn beacon's really good. You die and you don't lose any of your items. Alright, so I've just learned 2 things that are new. One is that the amount of gold nuggets you get by the gold things are respective of what pickaxe you choose to mine them with. If you mine them with a wooden pickaxe, you only get 1. If you mine them with a stone, you get 2. Iron 3. Diamond 4. And netherite 5. That is really cool. And also, that this thing is actually way more overpowered than I thought it was. And it is way worth the price, because I thought it wasn't worth the price. Oh man, it's just a respawn. But it's basically like... Wait. Am I dumb? Wait, no, it's because I have keep inventory on. No, I'm dumb. Alright, don't listen to me, guys. Another thing I wanted to test in survival mode is how fast you can mine obsidian with these 2 pickaxes. So let's start with diamond. Takes a while. And there we go. And it mined a lot more than that. And let's do netherite. Boom. Actually couldn't even tell how fast it mined that. Because I wasn't counting. But whatever. I'm actually really dumb because I thought that thing respawns you with all your items, but it's just because I have keep inventory on. Whatever. I'll put this stuff back in here. These 32 gold nuggets can why are they dying? Oh, it's because I'm still in survival mode. I'll put myself out of survival mode. Alright, and the reason I'm typing on my phone is because I'm actually playing on my phone right now, but I have my PlayStation 4 controller connected to my phone. So that's pretty cool. That's why you can see the Xbox controls down in the bottom left corner, even though I'm playing on a PlayStation controller. It's because Microsoft owns this game now. So they put their Xbox controls in instead of their beloved PlayStation controller. This is for later. Hold up. I have to check what I'm actually supposed to show you guys right now. Alright, so I am supposed to get rid of this gold nugget in my inventory and show you these twisting vines. This is actually the last item in this chest. But it's actually really cool. You might expect it to just be like on the wall and stuff, really boring. I actually just placed it. It's actually like kind of like scaffolding. But it automatically builds up. It's like bamboo scaffolding. And you can climb up it and stay on the top. It's like vines, but they don't need a surface to hang on. This is gonna be really cool for parkour maps and stuff. And yeah, we'll see what people do with this twisting vine. But anyway, I'll just break it. And just like bamboo, all of it drops. Actually, none of it dropped. Never mind. Let's put this back in here. And let's check the next thing. Okay, well, the next thing I'm supposed to show you is the lodestone. But for some reason, I don't think Bedrock Edition, or just my edition right now, has the lodestone. For some odd reason, I don't have the lodestone. And the lodestone basically is a block that you find in the nether, or you have to craft it with, I think it's like another ingot, which is really expensive. And basically, it's a block that when right-clicked or left-triggered using a compass, it sets the compass needle pointing towards the respective lodestone. So basically, instead of your lodestone just pointing, instead of your compass, use this lodestone to make your compass point towards where you want to make it point. But for some reason I don't have it, and I even tried to use commands to get it, and it wasn't there, so this lodestone is just gone, disappeared. Anyway, next thing we have on our list is blackstone, which is actually what makes up the new nether fortresses, or bastion things. I already forgot what they're called. Actually, I'm not going to take this out because they're basically just blocks and walls and stairs. A button and pressure plate is basically just like stone stuff. You know, polished blackstone, chiseled polished blackstone bricks, correct polished blackstone bricks. That is a lot of words. I think this is like the longest named item. Correct polished blackstone bricks. Blackstone slab. Yep, you've got all of the stuff here. Then you've got glided blackstone, which I'm pretty sure has a chance to drop gold nuggets when mined. This blackstone can be used to craft stone tier weapons and tools, as well as furnaces. So yeah, it's basically just stone, and it can be found down underground, basically, or kind of just anywhere and it can also be found in the basalt deltas. So now we're going to move on to the items. Now, we've all been talking about blocks and things we can place. Now we're going to be talking about the items. So let's go in this chest. You can see all this stuff here. And these are all the items we can have. So obviously, we're starting with the netherite scrap. It's made by like gold ingots and the things you find underground. I've actually already. Oh no, it's ancient debris. One thing I find kind of irritating is that when you step in this fire, there's yellow fire on your screen and not blue fire. Which is kind of weird. I don't appreciate it. Anyways, yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory. It's just made to make. It's just used to make netherite ingots. But this is the real deal. The actual netherite ingots doesn't do much on its own. Actually, it does a lot on its own, because with one of it, you can make really, really powerful tools. Like, seriously powerful tools. Like, let's pull out this, netherite, these netherite tools, and then let's pull out these diamond tools and compare them. Because I'm pretty sure this hoe is like stronger than an iron sword, and I'm literally not. Don't take that with a grain of salt either, because it's true. Seriously, this hoe is literally so powerful. I probably shouldn't have said that, because if you look in my inventory, you can see here. It's actually 6 attack damage, which is basically as powerful as an iron sword. Yeah, because this is 7 attack damage. And same with the pickaxe. And the axe is as much as a diamond sword. This is all just upgrades of diamond tools, we all know that. And, we all know if we upgrade the diamond tools to netherite tools, we have to unenchant them, because they'll lose their enchantment. And their regained durability. You know, all the regular stuff. And, yeah. It's just all this. Netherite tools. But the netherite armor is something different. You can see it in this chest. Compared to diamond armor. And I'm comparing it to diamond armor, because diamond armor looks like every other armor in this game. This armor is completely different. Like, it looks like no other armor. This diamond armor is a representation of all the other armors, because all the other armors are textured the same, but this armor is not textured the same. It's actually way different, and it looks really cool, so I do appreciate Minecraft for making an armor that actually looks different, and looks really cool. Yeah, people are gonna be farming way different now. It's like their gladiator helmets and stuff. Anyway, I think we've only got like a couple of things to point out, just last pointers about this update, like last little things that they added. Yeah, we've only got less little things. So basically, for the netherite tools, netherite hoes can actually also be obtained rarely by trading with the piglins. Like, really rarely, you can trade with the piglins, and they'll give you a netherite hoe. And, that would be really useful if, you could, like, uncraft items to give you back the materials and, like, get another ingot. But, so far it's not very useful. I mean, unless you like farming, I guess that's a good thing. Also, another thing for hoes. Hoes can now have a use for enchantments, like breaking and efficiency. Now they can have a use for them instead of just wasting your enchantments. Also, I'm just gonna like stand still here looking at this fire to read this stuff out, because it's a bunch of stuff. Alright, so also, there's another item. Oh, shoot. I actually forgot to get this item out. Well, I might as well do it now. It's called the Warped Fungus on a Stick. Yeah. It does what you think it does. Oh, I have to reignite that. It does what you think it does. It's just a carrot on a stick variant for striders, which are the new things you can find in the Nether, which I can probably just go down here and find one. Or not. Yeah, they're probably hiding it from me right now. Oh, I say that this Nether is really boring, but you go over here and there's already like one of those basalt biomes. This looks really cool. It looks like it's snowing. Anyway, let's not get too off track here. Let's go back to our original place. This is, I think this is the last item. Yeah, this is the last item. Actually, it's not the last item. I'm actually really dumb. There's one last item. It's called the Pig Step Music Disc. This is a new music disc you can obtain in the Bastion tests, in the Bastion fortresses, or whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're called for the life of me. Anyway, let's see what this thing sounds like. At least I have something to put here.
Bruh.
Hello? Are you playing? Do I have to turn my sound up? I think I have to turn my sound up.
Bruh.
Well, this is not working, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about this not working. That's cool. That's weird. It's, not working. Another thing I wanted to mention is that this is the only music disc not composed by C418. Because all the other music discs, if you look here, in, is this where the music discs are? No. Let me just search for them. Alright, so if you look at all the other music discs, you can see, C418, 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 and this is the only one, Lena Rain. I still haven't heard this music disc, so I thought it would be a surprise, but it's not playing anything. So, that's kind of weird. That's fine, though. Well, that's a bummer. But I'll just talk about the rest of the things, because that's all the items, finally. Now it's just like the honorable mentions. Alright, so it's just a little bit of changes. I think it's like only 7. It's skeletons now spawn in soul sand valleys. Bone blocks now generate in soul sand valleys as fossils. Nether bricks now have chiseled and cracked variants. Quartz blocks now have a brick variant. Lava now flows items and mobs like water. TNT can now be ignited by any projectile on fire. And magma cubes can now spawn in basalt deltas. So that was it. That was every single item and change for the Nether update. This is going to be a long video, and very much space on my phone. But that's it. That's every single item. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you learned something new or two about this update. And basically, thanks for watching. Bye.